Morning, everyone, and wishing all of you a happy new year. I hope you have chosen to make some changes in your life with this coming year to become a better person, to contribute to your society, to the world in a more healthy, in a more productive, in a more peaceful way. Today, I would like to pick up a topic which I was discussing with my mother over a phone call, and the topic felt fresh, the topic felt connected to what we have been discussing in our discussions. So I thought it would be nice to put it here today. In general, our understanding of life is very, very basic. Okay, it's very primal, it's very poor, whatever you would like to say, in whatever terms, whether you talk it scientifically or in general, in a common sense way, what people understand or feel what is life. So from our everyday experience, from our everyday behavior, we create a basic picture of life, and then we try to live in that way. And when that specific pattern of life feels comfortable, it feels like it's the right thing to do, then eventually over the years it becomes our understanding about life. But when you go deep inside this question of what is it to be alive, what is living, then many fresh understandings sprout from this investigation, if the investigation is honest and unbiased. So, in the same way, today I would like you to see, I would like to invite you to observe that we live a very mechanistic life. The word mechanistic is similar and shares the meaning with the words like machine, mechanical, and what it essentially means is like something which is like a machine, which means like something whose action is mechanical. What does it mean? The action is mechanical. The action is bound in a certain framework and then repeats itself. Okay? When the action is mechanically repeating itself because it has reached its limit. The limit is the boundary which is set by the program of that machine, by the database of that machine, that the machine cannot go outside that frame of work, that limit. Okay? So in that sense, what I would like to point out here after discussing this mechanistic nature, the nature of a machine, and you can see all machines share this aspect that they have a framework in which they perform really nicely. They have a specific limit in which they perform, which is based on what they have been programmed for. In the same way, our thought the process of thinking, which basically helps us to perform every task in the day, to live our life, is also mechanical. It's also mechanistic. I think it has been said in the old scriptures of many religions who have went into it, Eastern religions, of course, and in the recent times it has been pointed out quite loudly, quite strongly by J. Krishnamurti during his talks that thought is mechanical. And what it connects to what we discussed about a machine just a few minutes ago is that the way a machine performs in a cycle, okay, the way a machine performs in a framework which it has been programmed for, in the same way thought performs in a framework which it has been programmed for. And thought also performs its actions in cycles. Okay? If you are in the process of observing yourself, if you are on the process of self-inquiry, and it's very important to inquire about yourself because the whole understanding of the world comes from what you think you are. That is the basis of the understanding of the world. Okay? From the point of view of the observer, you understand the world. So, the way thought is mechanical is in the sense that if you are observing yourself and you would see that in specific times of the day, for example, you would have similar kinds of thoughts. Okay? If you check what kind of thoughts you get while you go to sleep, while you approach your bed, what kind of thoughts you get when you are brushing your teeth. Okay? For example, brushing the teeth, you could have thoughts about how your office will go. Okay? The specificness of the thought might differ because you have a different agenda in the office. But the essence that I have to think about my office while I'm brushing my teeth might remain the same. So, if you will observe yourself, you will see that in specific events of the day, specific thoughts are connected to them. And these thoughts repeat themselves over every day. If you don't pay attention to them at all, then this is how they keep running. Okay? This is kind of a sedation mechanism of the brain. The brain runs similar thoughts under similar conditions because in those thoughts, brain feels comfortable. Okay, the brain feels secure that if I will think about that at that time during those moments, my life is going to be more secure, more safe. So this is one quick example of mechanistic nature of thought, that it repeats itself in cycles. Okay. Another way that it could be mechanical could be that the way thought performs itself. Okay, that thought has a very specific way of acting. That thought is kind of, first of all, reactive in its nature. Okay, which is the basic essence of thought. That one thought comes, and then that becomes the subject for the next thought. The next thought reacts on the first thought, and then the third thought reacts on the second thought, then the fourth thought reacts on the third thought. And in this way, the loop of the cycle keeps on going. And thought can keep going, actually. If you would want to stay with this cycle for a whole day, you can keep thinking and keep reacting the whole day. Okay? So, in this sense, the first thought is the cause for the reaction of the second thought. Okay, I would repeat it. It's kind of important that the first thought, which appears in the brain becomes the the object. And then the second thought acts as a subject, looks at the first thought, and then reacts. That, this is like this. And the chain can keep going on. So basically, thought is working as a cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. And this chain can keep going on. Okay? So this is another way of looking at how thought is mechanistic. It's just stuck in this framework of cause and effect, repeating itself, cause and effect, cause and effect. Okay? Mechanistic, as we said. So if I would observe myself and I find out that I live according to thought the whole day, for example, and I just discovered that thought itself is mechanistic, because it's based on cause and effect, it's repetitive, it's reactive, okay? It's a specific situation producing the same kind of thoughts. Then it kind of connects to the point that my life is also becoming mechanical, okay? Because my life is based on thought. All my day's actions are based on thought. I think and then I act. I think and then I act. I think and then I act. And if the process of thinking itself is mechanical, which we just showed, then my daily actions become mechanical. And if my daily actions become mechanical, then in a way I become mechanical. My life becomes mechanical. And when life becomes mechanical, then after some time, the brain gets tired of this mechanical nature because it's bored of this loop, which you feel as well. And then the brain says, I need a vacation. Okay? I need a change of a city. I need to jump from this situation to that situation. So, brain does that, and then brain starts to form another mechanical, a new mechanism has been replaced by the first mechanism. And then the brain runs for some time on the new mechanism, feeling fresh, and then gets bored, and then on and on and on. So, essentially, when we are living our life as thought, or on the basis of thought, or according to thought, then our lives become mechanical. Our lives become repetitive. Our lives become reactive. That's why when something happens in front of you, your thought is not taking your permission to come. It just comes. When someone insults you, anger is not waiting for your permission that, okay, I should be angry now. No, it just happens. The emotions are reacting straight away. They don't wait for your permission to happen. Because your whole existence has become so reactive by living on basis of thought that this reactiveness, this reactive nature becomes a part of us. Okay? So, observing this mechanical way of living, because I'm self-inquiring, I'm trying to know myself, I observe that I'm living a mechanical life. Okay? I live a life which is directed by thought, because I always think and act. And because my life is directed by thought, and because I always think and act, I end up being a machine. Okay? A machine which thinks it's not a machine. A machine which thinks it is a living thing. Okay? So, our understanding of life has been reduced to a mechanistic life. We have started accepting a mechanical way of living as life, even though a mechanical way of existing is actually a machine. A machine also lives in a mechanical way, and we don't call it living. And yet, for ourselves, even though we live in a mechanical way, even though we live like a machine, we don't accept it that we are machines. Okay? Highly sophisticated machines, much sophisticated than what we have produced till now. And because nature has taken a lot of time to perfect every aspect of our body. So in the path of self-inquiry, I stumble upon the fact that I am a machine. I'm a very beautiful, sophisticated, nicely high performance machine. Okay? And I observe it every day in my life. The observation itself is my evidence. I don't have to read some specific psychologist or anything. I don't have to go to an expert or anything. I can see that all my actions are based on causes. Okay? Someone calls my name and I reply. It's not that I have performed that action. The cause has asked me to do that action. The bodily requirements ask me to do bodily actions. Okay? The mental requirements ask me to perform a mental action. My mind feels bored and I choose to entertain myself. It's not a choice in that sense that I have done. I might choose what kind of entertainment I will end up taking. But the very essence that the cause of boredom, the cause that I'm bored, is creating this action in me. The action of finding entertainment, for example. Okay? So when you are aware of yourself during the day, you would see that most of your actions which you were thinking you are doing are actually happening because of different causes in your life. You understand? Because you feel hungry, you go towards the food. Because you feel thirsty, you go towards water. Because someone calls your name, you turn around. Okay? Because you want to have a salary, you work at your office or whatever. So you would see very clearly, without a doubt, that the whole life is like a machine. And when the whole life is like a machine, then what happens? Then naturally you ask a question, is there a way of living which is not like a machine? But you only ask that question when you have totally, completely observed that you are living as a machine. If you don't observe, then you will live with your fantasies that I am this kind of human being, I am this kind of life, I have this soul and this, my inner voice, my gods, my this and that and this and that and this and that. Okay? The person who actually goes through this, who actually observes, who actually sees that every word coming out of the mouth is as a machine, because it's all causal. It's all because of a cause. The cause is making me react. And I react because that's the whole point of my existence, to react. And then I ask a question, is there a way to live in which I don't react? In which I'm outside the cycle of cause and reaction, cause and action, cause and action. Is there a way of living like that? But sadly, we never reach to this question because we already have given ourselves 1,000 million answers, 1,000 explanations. But somewhere, someone who is honest and to whom this might reach, then ask this question. First, observe. Don't ask it without observing, okay? first observe that you're living like a machine. A very good machine, a very nice machine. And once you are perfectly confident that you are living as a machine, when you can see every movement of the finger, every word coming out of your mouth, every thought you're having is like a machine, then naturally the question will arise, is there something which is out of it? Is there a way of living which is not like this? And then, if you have reached this point, then the solution comes. The whole difficult part is to reach this point, because it requires you to look at yourself. And everyone is too busy to do this. Everyone has their goals, dreams, success, and everything. So, as a new year has come, try to learn about yourself. See in what ways you act and live mechanically. Don't leave anything untouched. Check every corner inside of you. That is there a corner which is not mechanical? Observe that the whole movement of the body, the whole movement of the mind are in a way perfectly mechanical. The body has its cycles, the mind has its cycles. The body reacts, the mind reacts. The body has a framework, the mind has a framework. So both of them work as a good machine. And the moment you accept that they both perform as a good machine, the performance of the machine even becomes better. Because at the moment when you have put the burden of being something super special on a machine, the machine feels stress of it. You are asking the machine to become something which is not. It is not. So, give your time to this. Whenever you can find some time, start it, and then eventually introduce it in your whole day. Okay? Become your own evidence. So, become your own evidence. And then you will see that mechanicalness is the nature of the way we are living. So, I hope it was helpful. I hope if someone has listened, they can see it straight away. If someone has listened, and you would put a close eye on yourself and discover this for yourself. So, again, Happy New Year to everyone, and bring some newness in your life. If you have some questions, then please write to me in the comments.